The Strandfontein fishing community and life-saving club have joined calls to ditch a government proposal to increase white shark cage diving activities along the coast. Natalie Malgas is standing by to tell us why. Natalie?
Well, dude, I'm standing here on Strandfontein beach. The signal is about as choppy as the water, so I hope you can hear me quite clearly. As you mentioned, there are a number of locals and residents of the Strandfontein community who've all weighed in on this proposal to increase white shark cage diving activity just off the coast. In fact, part of the proposal is to create more shark activity just 1.3 kilometers from the Strandfontein shoreline. Many of the residents and aggrieved parties, including the Life-Saving Club that we've spoken to during the course of today, say the risks are just too high. Over the festive season, over the peak summer season, hundreds of thousands of beachgoers make use of this beach strip, and by encouraging more shark activity closer to the shoreline, we'll be putting hundreds of thousands of people at risk. Many say this is simply not a good idea. We also spoke to the National Sea Rescue Institute that said as much as shark incidents are few when compared to other drowning incidents and boating incidents, it's just unnecessary to lure them any closer to the shoreline than they have to be. I'm now standing with Omar Majid, who's been a recreational fisherman here in Strandfontein for practically all his life. He's brought his family with him this afternoon as he tries to enjoy some fishing. He has a different opinion. Omar, how are you feeling about the idea that there'd be increased shark activity on the very spot where you want to fish?
I don't think I'll have a problem with it because, like I said earlier on, I've got a friend that works on a shark cage boat, and without the sharks, the guys don't have work. And I've been on the shark boat before, so if you don't jump, there's no sharks there. So yeah, that's basically it. I think it will be okay if the sharks come into our water so that guys can be working then. And I think also they keep the fish closer to the shoreline for us guys to catch them, because there haven't been any fish lately as well. So
you've noticed a change. We heard from the Environmental Affairs Department that there has been a change in the behavior of some of the marine life here, and there hasn't been shark activity as good as it was in its peak back in 2010. So you've noticed something different in the water?
I have noticed something different. There hasn't been so much fish like there would normally be. When the drones used to be out, you could drone fish, but you have to go really far, like 300 meters, 350 meters to catch a fish, you know what I mean? And the guys without a drone, they're not catching anything. So I think it will be okay for us if the shark come a bit closer, not close enough to eat our children though, but you know, just a bit closer to help us catch fish and to help the guys get some money in their pockets that works on the shark cage boat.
Thank you very much, Omar Majid. As you heard there, he's been a fisherman here all his life, and now he's brought his son out to enjoy some fishing activities, but he hasn't had much success. He says he's also noticed some change in the marine life, which is exactly what the Environmental Affairs Department is saying. Back in 2010, 2011, when the shark activity was at its peak, so too was the shark cage diving businesses, and the tourism industry here was booming along the coast, with as many as 7,000 international visitors visiting the shoreline for those activities particularly. These tourists and interested parties who want to participate in marine activities have now been offered places like Mossel Bay and further up the Southern Cape coast, because there simply aren't as many sharks in these shorelines. So what the department has proposed is temporarily extended the areas where chumming would be allowed to lure the sharks back to these waters, and once the numbers reach the heights they did about a decade ago, they would happily rechange the zoning parameters to allow the chumming to happen a little further offshore. But there are some mixed reviews. Omar here was really the only one who had a positive opinion from what we heard today. Most of the residents, including the NSRI, the life-saving teams and some of the beachgoers at Strandfontein tidal pools today, have said a resounding no. It's just too risky.
Very divisive issue. Natalie Malgas says, a side note, how beautiful is our country. That background looking oh so dreamy this morning. Natalie Malgas, thank you very much.